great honor to have you decide to join us and then help us to evaluate Terry's speech. Thank you very much.
Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. I have the pleasure this evening of being, well, both a guest and a Toastmaster, and of evaluating Terry. Now, you and I had a conversation over the break, a quick one, and I'm going to give you a bit more feedback from my evaluation this evening. One of the great things about speeches, one of the good things about speeches is when you have a very powerful opening. And this is one thing that Terry did with hers. That opening poem or rhyme that you had, it really captured everyone's attention. And what it also did for me, it had me waiting, okay, what else is coming, what else is coming? And you delivered on that. You delivered by asking the audience a rhetorical question. And that also kept them in suspense, wanting more, wanting more. And that's a really good way of opening a speech, getting everyone's attention and getting them involved and getting them connected to you. I felt the presentation itself as a whole was very sincere. It was straightforward, it was open, it was warm, and it was honest. You showed quite a bit of yourself in there, and I enjoyed actually the stories of your kids. Now, also the conflicting roles of being a parent and the things that parents actually struggle with, and also the challenges with being a parent. The one thing that I would suggest on that part too is there are a lot of parents in this audience here. So when you're making certain points that are really emotional, you made an emotional connection with people, but it also helps to sort of make a physical connection. So when you make that, go to someone who you may think is a parent, or you know the audience who is a parent, and sort of like address them. So make that physical rapport as well as the emotional rapport. That adds a lot to the speech, and it actually gets them more into what you're saying. The one thing that one of the things that I was curious about was, I guess, the actual point of the speech. Because the point of this speech here was get to the point, and the key was to understand exactly what you're going to talk about and go for it. I like your title. However, throughout the speech, it seemed to address not necessarily today as a present, but perfection. Now, there was a way you could have actually connected the two. Something like, as we pursue perfection, it's very important for us to enjoy the gift of today, or something like that. That could have brought that around full circle. So it was just a slight disconnect there, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't so bad where it ruined the speech off, and the speech was very good. Let's see. Flipping over. Another thing that I noticed is that during the speech, you bounced a little bit between discussing your kids and discussing yourself. And you went with kids to yourself, kids to yourself. One of the things that I would recommend is talk about one, go into as much detail that you need to in order to make the point, then move on to the other, and then kind of sort of bring them together into a connecting point at the end, right there. That sort of reinforces the overall message that you're trying to get across. A couple things, and this is just, as a newer speaker, all due to nervousness. Your body stance was kind of sort of like this, and just rocking back and forth. In speaking, in a speech like yours, again, it's good sometimes to move towards a member, make eye contact with someone, develop that physical rapport as well as the emotional rapport. And that'll cover for your body stance, because you actually won't be standing in one spot. You'll be moving around and giving gestures and connecting with people. Another thing too, your clenched hands. It also showed that you were nervous, because I think the entire speech you were like this with your hands. So it's good to, if we're nervous, we all get nervous when we're giving a speech. So sometimes it's good to maybe put your hands behind your back a little bit, or just move them around, or just sort of hold them to your side, and just use your hands as sort of limited motion, but at least do something with them other than just clench them. Okay. And the last point that I have here is the eye contact. Okay. I noticed when you were speaking, you were scanning the room per se, but not necessarily connecting with one individual. So it's good to, and again, it's all about developing that rapport and that connection with the audience. Look at someone, develop that rapport with them, get them into your speech, get them loving you, and then move on to the next person, do the exact same thing for them. He's about to ding me in a second, but I don't care. And I like the ending. So your opening and your closings were very good, very powerful. I like the closing. Today is history, tomorrow's a mystery. It's beautiful. And overall, I loved your speech. It was a great speech. I look forward to hearing more of them.
Thank you.